Hello and welcome to the first of many super winning series for Celonis, where we want to shine a spotlight on diversity and raise awareness for growing, continued diverse workforce here. I'm Nick Mitchell, and I am the country leader for the UK and Ireland at Celonis. I'm really pleased to introduce Amélie to share her thoughts on why diversity is crucial today for organisations. So over to you, Amélie.
Thanks, Nick. I'm so excited to be part of this. I think it's really important to start more conversations on the career opportunities and possibilities in tech. So my name is Amélie. I've been at Celonis now 6 months, 6-month anniversary coming up. Before that, I was at MuleSoft for almost 3 years, part of the Salesforce family like you, Nick. And before that, I started consulting at KPMG in the Global Strategy Group for around 4 years. So made the transition to tech sales, I'd say 4 years into the start of my career in consulting, and looking forward to sharing more. Where shall we start, Nick?
Well, it has been a great 6 months, Amélie. Well done. But what was your motivation to leave consulting and move into the tech sales world?
Good question. So I really loved consulting, and after my master's at LSE, I have to admit, it seems like there were 2 main avenues, consulting or finance. And I wanted to join consulting to learn from a diverse set of industries. And I was really lucky to join the Global Strategy Group in London. After 4 years, I wanted to get some experience in industry. And to be honest, I didn't really know where to start. So I, quite frankly, looked through my LinkedIn and see what my other contacts at university were doing. And I had a really good friend who was at MuleSoft. So we grabbed a coffee. When looking to move to industry, I was looking at the growth projections of various industries, and that's where tech really stood out. And so it wasn't a conscious move, I want to do tech sales, but the more I looked into it, the more I thought, this is a skill set that I really want to learn and that will be really valuable and open a lot of doors. I admit I didn't join with the intention of staying this long in tech sales, but I've had such an amazing time, and it has, I guess, surprised me in many ways.
So it sounds to have met your expectations, interested about that, but also what surprised you about tech sales?
I think it's got a bit of a reputation of doing a constant pitch. I know, speaking with some of my friends who are still in consulting, I think one said, but aren't you bored of just saying the same thing every day? And it's not like that at all. I think how dynamic and social of a job it is, how demanding intellectually. I mean, you are constantly presenting and, not just selling yourself, but also if we look at what does selling mean, I don't really, and I'm thinking this more and more, I don't really think I sell in an account, and I don't really think you sell or anyone at Celonis sells. I think we empower people within the organization with the right knowledge, resource, and support to sell for us. So it's a lot more of a teamwork exercise. And of course, it depends on what you're selling, but how dynamic, how interactive, and how fun. And also, I think it is an industry where you are leading the way in an area that's not yet defined. And that's quite hard. I think from consulting, you frame a problem statement, you define the methodology, you agree with the client, then you follow the steps. But it's rigorous, but you know what you're doing. And I think in sales, a lot of times when you don't really know what you're doing, but you're working as a team to figure out, what is the best way forward.
No, you've got it spot on. It's much more psychological, and the consulting piece, that the expertise that you bring to the party is really important as well. But what about challenges then? So, and specifically to gender, right? So, are there any things that you've come across as challenges you need to overcome?
I'm not sure I would frame it as challenges, because there are a lot of really great women at Celonis, but not enough. And I think that's like any organization.
Yep.
And I think that's also due to a lack of awareness about what this job entails and what it can do. A lot of organization, tech sales was never a career opportunity, let's say, defined in university. You don't really have that awareness. Back when I was in consulting, I used to think that if you work in tech, you work in, product engineering or marketing, or it didn't really seem like something that was challenging or really fun. So I think that diversity is still something that I think every company is making strides to achieve. Hence the importance of this video. And also, I do think, you touched on it before, there's so many synergies with consulting and tech. I mean, partners, the ultimate, job in consulting that many people strive for, that is sales. And that's the importance of so what. But coming back to challenges, it is a roller coaster job with with a lot of ups and a lot of downs, and I think that's because you are paving the way. So sometimes you're gonna get it wrong. What's most important is to learn and focus on the input. I think what you're putting in, because then you learn, because the output you can't control as much as we would all like to.
No, absolutely. So, and are there any tips for those? You mentioned that this wasn't really something that you were aware of as you were going through your education, etc. For those that are starting to become more aware, and there is more out there now, are there any tips for those that want to get on board or want to make a transition into tech sales role? 2
tips. My main tip would be, your network is bigger than you think it is. Reach out. You can even reach out to people you don't know. That's where the LinkedIn community is so great. And I think you'd be surprised about how many people would be willing to help, give their thoughts, answer the questions, you wouldn't dare to ask in an interview maybe. And the second is, I think what makes a real difference, what's made a real difference for me, in this job, whether I like it or not, is really selling something you believe in. And I think it's a bit of an obvious one, but I'm not sure it's talked about enough. And, what defines that? I think it's what the customers of the product and the solution are doing with it and their feedback, how public they are about it. And importantly, within the company itself, so what are the, product engineering, solution engineers, leaders? I think it's always good to get a diverse view, because I would never want to be in a position where I'm selling something I don't believe in. I think that would turn the job from something you can love to something you hate.
No, I totally agree. It is about purpose. It's absolutely about purpose. It's about doing something that rewards you, not just in monetary terms, although most tech sales jobs are commissioned, but the real joy of the job comes from what we do with our customers and our partners and the results that we bring to bear over the engagement with them. So yeah, no, I totally agree with you there. And thank you for the transparent candor as to your experiences and your timeline of getting to this position. You are already a superstar, and you're going to continue to shine. And we really value you here at Celonis. So brilliant. Thanks for setting this up, because I know it was all your idea as well. So I really appreciate it. And look forward to the next chapter with you.
Yeah, me too. One last word for, I guess, the audience. Don't be afraid to try new things. Learning is what's the most important. And importantly, have fun while doing it. If you'd like to talk more about tech sales, what that involves, whether it's about Celonis or not, about any other organization, please do reach out. Happy to help.
Yes, and me too. Thank you. Thank you, Emily.